So, over the past decade or so, some of video games' best Easter eggs have referenced films, and I've made various videos covering them. But with each passing year, there are more movie-related Easter eggs to find. That's why today we're going to take a look at 7 really cool movie references in video games. Now, as is tradition on this channel, I'll be limiting myself to 1 Easter egg per game to keep things fresh. And of course, if you think you know of a movie-related Easter egg that would have been perfect for this video, please leave it in the comments down below. Oh, and I have made a few of these videos in the past, so I'll leave a link to those in the description just in case the Easter egg that you're thinking of has been in one of those. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with what is perhaps the most accurate Easter egg in this entire video. Contrary to popular belief, House Flipper isn't a game where you demonstrate superhuman strength and turn houses upside down. It is instead a game where you buy a rundown house, remodel it, and sell it for profit. Typically, these houses are pretty unremarkable, but there is one that may seem familiar to fans of a certain movie. The Alone home can be bought for a whopping £322,000, but is an admittedly impressive looking house. Inside the house are plenty of very spacious rooms, ideal for those looking to entertain guests, perhaps before they travel to France for Christmas. Now, I'm guessing a lot of you already know which movie this house is referencing. I mean, the name of it is a pretty big clue, but for those of you who don't know, this house is a reference to Home Alone. What makes this Easter egg so cool is that it's not just the look of the house that's a reference. There are several small details found inside of the house that are nods to the movie. For example, by the window near the Christmas tree you can spot the broken baubles left by Kevin that Marv later stepped on. And by the stairs are paint cans which Kevin threw at Harry and Marv. Like I said, this is probably the most movie-accurate Easter egg in this video, so hats off to the House Flipper devs. Next up is one of the strangest games I've ever played. Jazzpunk is a comedy-adventure game set in an alternate reality Cold War. Now, you may be wondering, what makes Jazzpunk so strange? Well, just about everything, that's what. Even the mission briefings that take place in a train car are weird. Here, take a look at this.
Fantastic work. Now I can finally make my steak and kidney pie. That last job seems to have attracted us a bit more heat than usual. We'll have to wait for things to cool down a bit. In the meantime, I've set you up with a vacation. All expenses paid trip to Kai Tak Resorts. Now go on, get some R&D. You look like you could use it.
So yeah, like I said, Jazzpunk is very strange, but a strange game with a lot of Easter eggs. The movie-related Easter egg that I've chosen from Jazzpunk references one of cinema's most iconic scenes. During your visit to a holiday resort, you can find this. So this is of course a reference to the classic James Bond intro scene that has been in every official James Bond movie ever released. If I'm honest, I am kind of surprised that we don't see more references to James Bond in video games, especially when the older movies are ripe for parody. Now, if you've been following the Easter egg hunting exploits of this channel for a while now, you'll know there is one Easter egg in particular that is used far too much. The red balloon near a drain Easter egg is one of the most overused Easter eggs in video games. So much so that I even stopped explaining what it was a reference to if another one was found. An Easter egg evolution was needed. A developer had to move away from the red balloon and show Pennywise himself. And that's where Goat Simulator 3 stepped in. So the red balloons are still here, because of course they are, but at least this time we actually get to see the killer clown in person. Oh, and if you attack Pennywise, this will happen.
Scary goat!
My knee!
Up next is Fallout 76. Now, the Fallout games have always been good for a movie reference or two. I mean, who could forget the giant shark from Fallout 4 that was a reference to Jaws? Well, the Easter egg that I've chosen from Fallout 76 is a reference to a sci-fi horror classic. In the AVR Medical Center, you can find this. So this space monkey with an alien plushie stuck to its face is a reference to this classic scene from Alien. Next up is a reference to a movie that I'm guessing a large portion of you have never seen or might have even forgotten about. Postal 4 is another game that is full of references to just about everything that you can imagine. You can even find a giant, a giant golden finger. Well, the movie reference that we're interested in can be found at the drive-thru. If you wait long enough, you can hear this.
And then.
So this is a reference to this scene from the cult classic comedy Dude, Where's My Car?
No! No and then!
And then?
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 No, no and then! Nigga really start to piss me off.
Now, I think that we can all agree that 2022's Saints Row reboot was a disappointment. I mean, sure, some of you may have enjoyed it, and it's a decent enough game. But when compared to past games in the series, it's easy to see why the majority of players would be left feeling underwhelmed. However, there was one area in which the Saints Row reboot excelled, and that was Easter eggs. From a giant Jenga tower to crashed UFOs, Saints Row was an Easter egg hunter's paradise. Of course, there were plenty of movie references to find too, but this next Easter egg was by far my favourite. At this location on the map, you can find this. So this car is the same car driven by Paul Walker in the very first Fast and Furious film. As you would expect, the car is fast and even a little bit furious. Right, let's end today's video with Dead Island. Now, going back and playing Dead Island to record this Easter egg made me remember just how much fun this game is. Don't get me wrong, I know it's not perfect, and Dying Light would go on to almost perfect the open world zombie formula, but Dead Island is still worth a play, even if it is just to prepare for the soon to be released Dead Island 2. Now, the Easter egg that I wanted to share from Dead Island references one of horror cinema's most iconic characters. After making it to the jungle in Act 3, you can find a hut in the middle of nowhere surrounded by dead bodies. As you approach the hut, this will happen.
We got some fresh meat! So a man called Jason, who is wearing a hockey mask and wielding a machete, will start to fight a group of zombies. Now, you might think that this man is on your side. After all, you both want to kill zombies. But if you let Jason get too close, this will happen. Come on. So Jason can kill you in one hit. If this wasn't already obvious, this is a reference to Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movies. Heading inside Jason's hut, you can find what appears to be a shrine, which could be a reference to the shrine that Jason keeps of his mother. Also in the hut is a chainsaw that, despite not dealing huge amounts of damage, does chop zombies limb from limb. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.